Good morning, welcome to News Superfast with me, Harish Padya. Just a few hours are left for the last phase of polling in the 16th Lok Sabha to get underway. The Election Commission has made all the necessary arrangements to ensure free and fair election. What are those special arrangements? Take a look.
May 12, 2014. Varanasi gears up for a triangular fight. It's the D-Day as the three states will vote in the final phase of Lok Sabha polls. But all eyes will be on the city from where BJP's Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi will contest. The holy city of Varanasi, as Narendra Modi will battle it out against Congress's Ajay Rai and AAP chief Arvind Kejriwal. The Election Commission, which is battling allegations, is leaving no stone unturned to secure the region. EC focus on Varanasi. EC makes special arrangements. Predicting that polling booths will witness heavy voting in the region, the Election Commission has deployed enough men to ensure safety at the booths during voting. Yes, the holy city of Varanasi has literally turned into a fortress as it is preparing to go to polls. Around 25,000 security personnel have been deployed to ensure safe elections in the temple town. Paramilitary and civil forces have been deployed to avoid any untoward incident during the polls. Well, this deployment may possibly be the heaviest force deployment in a non-extremism hit constituency. 22 security barriers have also been set up in the city. 100% coverage of polling booths. There will be 100% coverage of the polling locations across Varanasi. Central forces will be positioned at each polling location, which may house multiple polling stations. A special observer. Other than the security measures, the Election Commission has appointed senior IAS officer Praveen Kumar as a special observer in the city. Praveen Kumar, who has met the polling officials and assigned the duties on 11th of May, will be held responsible for fair polling in the city. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has issued directions to the district election officer to ensure videography at every single polling location on May 12th after complaints of alleged rigging, violence and other malpractices. This will be in addition to the dedicated teams to be deployed by the Chief Electoral Officer to track poll day events. The teams will convey poll day events to the district control room and the CEO. Besides, a separate control room will follow polling coverage by the local media and alert the authorities to any untoward incident. This will be followed by timely action. Well, the Election Commission has taken enough measures to ensure fair elections in Varanasi. But will their efforts bear fruits? Let's wait and watch. A News 9 report.
Moving on, the marathon Lok Sabha elections, one of the most bitterly fought in recent memory, will come to a close today when polling will be held in 41 constituencies in 3 states. But what are the keen battles that you will want to watch? Here's a report on that.
The final showdown. Indeed, the 9th phase of Lok Sabha elections on May 12th will be the final showdown. Voters from 3 states comprising of 41 Lok Sabha constituencies will seal the fate of 601 candidates who are in the fray. But what are the interesting battles and who will grab all the limelight tomorrow? Uttar Pradesh. Constituencies 18. There are 18 constituencies in Uttar Pradesh that will vote in the final phase. But all eyes will be on the battlefield Varanasi. Yes, the entire country is curiously watching the battle for Varanasi with bated breath. Here the balloting will test BJP Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi's appeal as the BJP is eyeing major gains in Uttar Pradesh. Though the main focus will be on BJP's Prime Ministerial candidate, Aam Aadmi Party's Chief Kejriwal and Congress's Ajay Rai will be seen as close equals. Another keenly watched contest will be Azamgarh constituency where Samajwadi Party Chief Mulayam Singh Yadav will be taking on the BSP and BJP. The other biggies in the fray from Uttar Pradesh are BJP's Yogi Adityanath, who's contesting from Gorakhpur, and BJP's Jagadambika Pal, who's contesting from Domriaganj constituency. West Bengal. Constituencies 17. The battle looks promising across 17 constituencies in the state of West Bengal. The key candidates contesting in the final phase of the Lok Sabha polls are... The interesting battle in West Bengal will be fought in North Kolkata with Sudeep Bandyopadhyay, Rupa Bakshi and Somen Mitra fighting it out to reign supreme. Meanwhile, in South Kolkata, it will be Nandini Mukherjee versus Subrata Bakshi. In Damdam constituency, it will be a 3-way fight between Sugata Roy, Asim Das Gupta, Tapan Sikdar. while in Jadavpur, Sugata Bose and Sujay Chakraborty will battle it out. In the constituency of Barasat, the famed magician P.C. Sorkar is trying his luck. Bihar. Constituencies 6. In the last round of voting, 6 seats are up for grabs in Bihar. In this state, the BJP that had abandoned its development plank is relying on the caste to take on Lalu Prasad's RJD and blank out Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's Janata Dal United from the race. Raghuvansh Prasad Singh of RJD will be contesting from Vaishali, while Prakash Jha of JDU will be contesting from Paschim Champaran. Another candidate who you will have to watch out for is Hina Saheb of RJD, who will be contesting from Sivan constituency. Well, the stage is set for the final phase, and on May 16th, the people's decision will be announced. A News 9 report.
Moving on to some local news, people rushed there to purchase plots and even bought them and built houses there. But now they're repenting to the hilt. Wondering why? Take a look.
Mention the name Ramanagara Channapatna Urban Development Authority and we are sure hundreds of people run away. And that is because a scam worth 15 crore and 90 lakh rupees had taken place there. As soon as the scam was unearthed, all projects taken up by the authority had been quelled. One of the projects was the construction of the Arkavati housing layout near Jigehalli. In the last 10 years, the authority has constructed around 1,000 sites in a 90-acre plot and sold them to customers who have paid lakhs together. But the authority has failed to provide basic facilities like a sewage system, etc. So, such of those people who have constructed houses on this plot have been left in the lurch.
ಸೈಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡು 4 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯಿತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಒಂದು 2 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯಿತು. ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಕರೆಂಟು ನೀರು ಪಾರಕು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ರೆ 4 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆತನ ಆಯ್ತಿದೆ. ನಾವು ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಲೋನ್ ಸಾಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
Initially, when the authorities sold plots, it profited notably and paid off many of its loans. As days wore on, a number of purchasers bought these plots, but basic facilities were not provided. The owners of houses are in a dilemma. No one is coming forward to purchase plots here. With the attitude that the authority is showing, it is indeed a sad story for all those who have purchased plots and built houses. Prashant Gonnibidu, News 9, Ramanagara.
Moving on, Mariam, who slipped into a coma after doctors' negligence in Sanjay Gandhi Hospital, continues to be in the same state after 5 months. Here, her parents now state that the government has gone back on its promise. Here's a report.
It was on December 16th last year when the parents of Mariam took her to Sanjay Gandhi Hospital in Jayanagar after she broke a bone in her right hand while playing in the backyard. The doctors who treated her gave her an overdose of anesthesia, which resulted in the little kid slipping into a coma. She was immediately rushed to Manipal Hospital and has been treated there for the last 5 months, but her health has not improved a bit. The hospital bill has exceeded 15 lakh rupees, and the parents who are not financially sound are under severe mental stress. They neither have the money to remit bills, nor is there an improvement in the child's health. The committee set up by the government to investigate the case of negligence has already submitted a report and held the 4 doctors who treated her in Sanjay Gandhi Hospital responsible for Mariam's present state. They have been suspended from their services. Mariam's parents are dejected with the way the Ministry of Health and its minister has ignored the promises that were made.
ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಂಗೆ 4 ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ರು UT ಕಾದ್ರು ಏನೋ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು ಬಟ್ ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಬಂದು ನೋಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಆಸ್ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ನೋಡಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ನಾವು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಜನರಲ್ವಾ ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಆ ಮಗುನ ಒಂದು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿನೂ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ ನಾನು ನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ಆಸ್ ಎ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ನನ್ನ ಮಗುನ ಏನೇನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದೆ ನಾನೇನು ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಭಿಕ್ಷೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸೇ ಯಾರು ಆ ಗೋರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸೇ 4 ಜನ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ತಪ್ಪನ್ನ ನಾನು ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
The child's parents have lodged a complaint with Karnataka Medical Council, which is conducting the trial. When we spoke to the health minister, he said that the government was ready to help, but Mariam's parents were not cooperating. Mariam Kausar's issue has been brought to the notice of the Chief Minister, and we have promised her parents financial help, but they are not providing us proper documents and unwilling to cooperate with us. Their attitude is hindering us from providing help. The real issue remains unsolved. The child continues to be in coma, and the parents are running from pillar to post to arrange for money to pay the bills. Anand Burli, News 9, Bengaluru.